Looking for a budget gaming headset that doesn't sound cheap? Here are the 7 that stood out, ranked from good to best, after weeks of testing across PC, console, and late-night Discord sessions. Today's lineup puts real-world comfort, mic clarity, wireless reliability, and positional audio ahead of flashy RGB. And yes, there will be a couple of hot takes as the list climbs. Stick around for number 1 if you care about wide soundstage and detail for competitive FPS without blowing the budget. Number 7. JLab Nightfall Wireless Gaming Headset. The JLab Nightfall, which earns a spot for value and marathon staying power, even if it whiffs a few premium touches. Battery life claims hover around 70+ hours over Bluetooth, and lab testing via USB dongle still clocked a ridiculous 54+ hours. Both are uncommon at this price and ideal if charging anxiety is a thing for you. Comfort is solid with cloud foam pads and a wide strap that spreads weight, and the dual wireless switch, USB-C dongle or Bluetooth, makes hopping between PC, Switch, and PlayStation frictionless. Sound skews enthusiastically V-shaped, which is a polite way of saying the bass and treble want your attention while mids step back. In cinematic shooters, that worked. Explosions had weight, and footstep edges came through, but dialogue clarity in story games occasionally felt veiled compared to higher-ranked picks. Still, for casual multiplayer, the tuning brings energy and a sense of fun that's hard to argue with under $60. Mic quality is serviceable for party chat, but not broadcast grade. It rejects noise less effectively than pricier sets, and the tone can sound thin in busy rooms. Teammates heard everything clearly enough, but if streaming is on the agenda, this isn't the mic to carry a channel. It's the right baseline if your priorities are gaming, commuting between devices, and not babysitting a charger. Build is lightweight plastic with comfort-forward padding that keeps fatigue low but raises long-term clamp concerns. Number 6. HyperX Cloud 3 Wireless. The Cloud 3 Wireless is a crowd pleaser with a spec that jumps off the page. A staggering up to 120-hour battery life that lasted for weeks of nightly play and practice. HyperX's signature memory foam and angled 53mm drivers hit that familiar, just works sweet spot. No pressure hotspots, no fussy fit, and dependable 2.4 GHz performance on PC and PlayStation. DTS Headphone X comes baked in, and positional cues in shooters are pinpoint without sounding artificial. Mic quality is a meaningful upgrade over older HyperX models, with a 10mm capsule that captures voice cleanly and a handy LED mute indicator. Callouts come through clear even when the room's not silent. The aluminum frame adds durability without much weight penalty, making it an easy daily driver. If you jump between PC and Switch dock sessions, the dongle's USB-A, USB-C flexibility helps a ton. Where it lands at number 6 is nuance rather than failure. The tuning leans consumer-friendly, slightly warm bass, smooth treble, which is comfy for long sessions, but not as surgical as the sets higher on this list for tracking quiet footsteps through chaos. Also, while the 120-hour claim is fantastic, many players won't fully leverage that advantage compared to other headsets that already last multiple days. There's no ANC, and the closed-back isolation is decent, not cocoon-like. That's fine for home setups, less ideal for noisy dorms. Minor nit, switching platforms is simple, but management software is lighter than some rivals, and you won't find deep per-game EQ packs like the competitive tuning seen on flagship esports models. 5. Turtle Beach Stealth 600 Gen 3. The Stealth 600 Gen 3 is where battery, features, and price intersect in a way that's easy to recommend for console-first players. Turtle Beach advertises best-in-class 80-hour battery life, and real-world testing backs up that longevity while keeping latency tight over 2.4 GHz wireless. Quick Switch is a killer convenience, instantly flipping between low-latency game audio and Bluetooth for a call or music without digging into menus. Audio is punchy with 50mm nano-clear drivers and a convincingly wide stage. Turtle's superhuman hearing mode still gives a tactical edge by highlighting subtle sounds, even if it's not something you'll leave on for movies or music. The Swarm 2 companion app is one of the more practical tools at this price, with a proper 10-band EQ, mic monitoring, and mappable controls that make the side wheel genuinely useful. The flip-to-mute mic adds AI-based noise reduction this generation, which noticeably cuts background fans and keyboard chatter. Comms feel cleaner and more intelligible than older 600s. Comfort gets a nod as well. The ear cushions breathe better than leatherette and play nicely with glasses, and the lay-flat design packs down for shelves or a bag. Critiques are small but real. Some reviewers found passive isolation and build feel a notch below premium rivals, with creaks if you twist the frame and more outside noise sneaking in during loud environments, though it's mostly a non-issue in living rooms. Button density on the ear cup can take a few sessions to memorize, but the remapping helps. Number 4. Cherry XTRFY H3 Wireless. Cherry XTRFY's H3 Wireless feels like a stealth competitor to HyperX in comfort and tuning, and the value proposition is strong. Dual connectivity over 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth 5.1 covers PC, PlayStation, Switch, and mobile, with range that lets you raid the fridge mid-queue without a dropout. Battery life reaches up to a claimed 100 hours, and the practical runtime held up impressively in mixed music and gaming use. The sound lands in a satisfying middle ground, energetic, full bass presence without smothering mids, and treble that stays crisp but controlled, making it easy to locate footsteps and reloads without turning every effect into a spotlight. Directional cues felt natural, and the stage is wide enough to read space without resorting to gimmicky surround. Comfort is very good. Generous fabric pads and a robust metal headband keep it secure without hot spots, though at around the low to mid 300 grim range, it's not the lightest. Controls are straightforward, but the lack of a deep companion app means EQ is limited to on-headset modes. Also, volume stepping on Windows can feel coarser than ideal, which is a small annoyance if you're picky about increments. The microphone is clear and consistent for team chat with solid noise rejection for a mid-priced wireless set. Build quality inspires confidence, avoiding the creakiness sometimes seen in similarly priced competitors, and the all-black aesthetic looks clean at a desk or on camera. If you want long life, consistent wireless, and competitive imaging without vendor lock-in or heavy software, H3 Wireless is a sleeper hit in the budget to mid bracket. 3. HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless. The Cloud Alpha Wireless became a legend for battery life, and even now it's easy to recommend for one reason: it seemingly refuses to die between charges. Beyond endurance, its dual-chamber driver design delivers one of the cleaner bass presentations in this class. Low end hits hard without bleeding into mids, keeping voices and positional cues intact. For competitive play, that separation matters more than raw bass quantity. Comfort is classic HyperX. Plush pads, friendly clamp, a headband that disappears after an hour. Wireless performance on PC is rock solid, and the tuning stays fatigue-free for long nights. If you love the feel of Cloud 2 but wanted a truly modern wireless experience, Alpha Wireless is the spiritual successor that still makes sense. Mic quality is good for comms with clear articulation, though not class-leading next to recent premium esports models. However, for ranked lobbies and Discord, teammates never complained. Spatial awareness is excellent with DTS support, drawing a believable stage without the fake echo effect that can creep into cheaper virtual surround implementations. There's no ANC and isolation is typical closed back, which is fine for most home setups. The platform focus leans PC, and while console use is possible, the feature set shines brightest on desktop where spatial and software options are fully realized. If the mission is maximum uptime and a balanced competitive sound, Cloud Alpha Wireless remains a benchmark, reassuringly consistent, comfortable, and still hard to beat. Number 2. Razer BlackShark V3 Pro. The BlackShark V3 Pro is the most aggressively esports headset here, and its upgrades earn the number 2 slot. Razer's latest brings hybrid ANC to gaming headsets in a meaningful way, cutting low-frequency room noise so you can stay locked on the soundstage without cranking volume. Hyperspeed Gen 2 hits ultra-low 10 millisecond latency, and simultaneous 2.4 GHz plus Bluetooth mixing lets you run game audio and mobile chat at once, ideal for scrims, stream monitoring, or calls. The new Triforce 50mm biocellulose drivers are tuned for clarity and separation. In competitive FPS, it's easier to track verticality, surface transitions, and distant movement without the mid-range smearing that plagues bass-boosted sets. THX spatial audio and Pro EQ profiles narrow in on cues for titles like CS2 and Valorant, and the result is real. Fewer false positives and faster direction checks when fights break out. The detachable 12mm mic is a noticeable step up in richness and intelligibility versus prior models. With higher sampling that preserves consonant detail without hiss, teammates consistently heard cleaner callouts and VODs sounded less radio. Battery life is strong at up to around 70 hours on PC, and a removable battery via magnetic plate nods to longevity and repairability. Two caveats. ANC relies on a good seal, and the yoke design plus fabric padding can complicate fit for some heads, which reduces real-world noise blocking in tricky environments. Also, console runtimes can be notably shorter than PC, so if you're PlayStation Xbox only, factor in more frequent charges compared to the marathon sets on this list. Number 1. Beyerdynamic MMX 330 Pro. Number 1 goes to the MMX 330 Pro because it nails what budget-minded competitive players actually win with. Open-back spatial clarity, detail retrieval, and a broadcast-worthy mic in a robust, no-nonsense build. The open backstage is wide and natural, making it easier to place footsteps and environmental cues without artificial widening. In fast rotates, that extra spatial confidence cuts guesswork. The stellar. 45 drivers bring studio sensibilities into gaming, impactful but controlled bass, clean mids that keep dialogue and subtle movement forward, and airy treble that doesn't splash into sibilance. At 48 ohms, it's easy to drive from a controller or motherboard, yet scales nicely if you add an amp later. For budget, that headroom is rare and keeps the headset relevant beyond just gaming. The cardioid condenser mic is simply excellent for the price. Crisp articulation, very good noise rejection for an open-back pairing, and a tone that doesn't need software sweeteners to sound professional in Discord or VoiceOver. Add velour pads, a comfortable clamp, and handmade in Germany build quality, and it feels like it will survive years of daily use. Yes, it's wired, and yes, open back means you'll hear the room, and the room might hear you. If you game next to a blaring TV, pick a closed back. But for anyone in a controlled space, the trade-off pays you back in tracking precision and fatigue-free airiness that closed sets rarely match at this price. The included Y adapter keeps console compatibility simple, and the very long cable reaches just about any setup. Final take. Want unbeatable endurance and comfort under budget? Pick HyperX Cloud 3 Wireless or Turtle Beach Stealth 600 Gen 3 depending on platform mix. Need simultaneous game plus phone audio with ultra-low latency and ANC? Razer BlackShark V3 Pro is the competitive feature king. Crave open-back spatial advantage and a stellar mic for calls and content? Beyerdynamic MMX 330 Pro is the precision pick at number 1.